Hey everyone, welcome back. Got another truck vid. This one's gonna be a nightmare. I got a 2000 regular cab, short bed, Chevy pickup here, 2-wheel drive. When I bought it, it needed body mounts real bad. I could not find any for this dang truck. I did find some. I went through several different brands, including S&B, and none of them fit. So I know there's some other guys out there that have this problem. I've seen the posts online, but essentially what I've got here, to my knowledge, is a truck that has a frame that was manufactured in Canada or something like that. What I've got here are these body mounts, right? There's a body mount, but this thing is smaller than every other set of body mounts that has shown up at my door. I think it's because for a couple years they got the frames out of Canada and they just went with these smaller ones, and you cannot find these anywhere. You will not be able to buy a body mount that fits through the existing hole. So what I ended up doing is getting some of these Profanes. Where'd I get these from? Summit or something like that. And I, no kidding, took this thing and I took a box cutter and like cut this thing to the shape of the hole. And my hands were all blistered and bruised and I was cussing up a storm. And all I got done was the 4 that are under the cab. I didn't even do the core support ones. These polyurethane body mounts ride like crap. You might as well be right on the frame or put some bricks under there. It's just a horrible product. Yeah, it'll last forever, but I'm really looking for a superior, comfortable ride. And S&B silicone body mounts is the only thing that I can find that offers that extra forgiveness to provide for a really great ride. So let's unbox this thing. All right, I got 6 mounts in here for this truck. I ended up getting the ones that are for a 2001 or newer. And again, I have a 2000, so they just don't sell these things for the 2000 model. Here is our doozy. This is the part you're supposed to put over the frame, and check it out. It's not going to fit through the hole. But I really want the truck riding on these silicone mounts. I'm just going to have to do the hard work. I got a little die grinder for 20 bucks at Harbor Freight. Hopefully it works. And I've got these carbide burrs. What I'm going to attempt to do is widen all 6 holes with this thing so that these new bushing or body mounts will fit through the hole. I'm really worried that these are not really going to chew away the metal that fast or at all, and I could just be spinning wheels doing nothing. And we're going to see if we can basically modify the truck so that it's within spec to put these mounts in, and then I'm going to have a nice cushy ride. I'm not sure what other guys are doing for solutions, because I know other guys have this problem. If you have this problem, would love to hear what you've done about it, but I've heard of guys like cutting off the mounts and re-welding on entire new mounts, or you can buy body mounts with a circular, just a round, what do you call this? What do you call that part? Hole. Just a round thing, a round hole. And Summit will actually sell you the ones for a Canadian frame, which still doesn't fit this, but again, they're polyurethane. So I'm eager to take advantage of this silicone product, and once I get the frame holes cut out, then I'm going to put these in and give you a full review of how these ride compared to the polyurethane and the old ones that were in there that are all worn out. So let's do this.
Much later.
All right, the idea that I thought of here is we've got the body mount, and this portion right here is supposed to go on top of the frame, and that is what my hole needs to look like. I'm going to go down there and try to like tape this thing on, tag it with some paint so that I can see what I need to remove nice and bright. And from there, hopefully take the grinder and be able to just get rid of that excess material relatively fast. I've got a face mask and a gaiter to try to keep this stuff from touching me, and some long sleeves, some gloves. I'm a little nervous. I don't usually do stuff like this, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. I've got a little smaller one for maybe the more precise areas, and then I may need to come in with a set of files to really define the corners here, if you can see that. So I might have to do some fine tuning, but really all I need is for it to drop through and not be able to like shift around too much. So if I can get there, that would be a win. I'll be able to use this guy as a way to check my hole. So that's nice that I won't have to try to get the whole body mount in there. All right, here we go. Okay, I got the surface somewhat clean. It's kind of where I need to be. I can work with that. Yeah, that's pretty much in. Seated and everything. Some of the metal shavings are getting through my clothes. This is taking longer than it should, I think because the compressor just can't keep up. Also, I had opened it up a lot more than I thought I would need to, because there's these little tabs on that piece that I'm putting through the frame that kind of like lock it in or whatever. One down, 5 to go. Always start with the worst first. Learned that as a little kid. It's served me pretty well. So I've got the holes done for the core support, the 2 core support mounts up front. To me, these are the hardest ones because I got to take off the grill, and getting the space that I need to actually put the mount in is a nightmare. And I've had to go MacGyver on this thing. So let me just show you what I've got going here. I've got my weights pulled down off the wall. Figure I'll use these things for something, huh? And then jack stands. I had to take the tires off to get the room for this, but essentially I have the jack stand pushing up on the radiator core section. I don't know what you call it. And right here is where that mount has to go. So I think I've got enough space in there. Let's just try it out and see. Here's the whole assembly. I like this kit because it comes with some really good hardware, and all we're doing is separating there, and then that whole assembly, don't forget your plastic piece, goes right up in there. And I do have enough room. That's awesome. Obviously I'm working on the truck, and then UPS shows up with more truck parts. That's how I know I have a problem. Not as bad as some people though. Eric from Oklahoma City has a worse problem than I do. Just saying. He sent me this. What is it? What is it? Look at that. Filters. Okay, up next is the 4 mounts under the body or the cab, whatever you call that. And what they say to do is undo all 4 bolts and then your anchor straps and just jack it up and they slide right out. I'm glad to be done with the worst part first. One thing I noticed is that my body line here, this gap, has evened out because the front ones were still the original and just worn out. So I had a pretty small gap at the bottom and bigger at the top. So nice to see that that's evened out. I brought tweezers down. I've already pulled out 5 or 6 little metal shards from my hand, which I'm sure I'll be finding them for weeks, but definitely not a fun job dealing with all the metal shavings. Cool thing though is once this is done, never have to do it again. Just to kind of show you where the journey we've been on. This is the original body mount. Let's call that about 1.5 inches wide. And it has this round, let's call it a shaft or shank, comment below. So that little metal piece that the bushing slides over is usually oval. 99% of the time, all you can find is these oval ones, but this is that Canadian bushing that I found with a round hole. But you can see this thing is not, I mean, this is 1 inch and 13. So I had to take a stinking box cutter and hack it down to that shape to match that one. So now we're going to this. This is 1 13 16ths. So it's kind of the same with, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go down and mark my hole. I came up with this precise tool to trace the hole I need. It doesn't have to be accurate because I'm sitting there and I'm like finely tuning once I get close using this thing again. And once I get my holes marked, I'm going to start grinding. I did switch out the bit. I have a bigger bit that hopefully chews the metal away a little bit quicker, but we'll see how it performs. 4 more holes. Hopefully within an hour we can be done. All right, it's a little past dinner time. I wasn't like working on it constantly, but just the grinding was 20 to 30 minutes a hole. And then, you know, everything else that goes with it. This was like an 8-hour job. I can't believe it's done. I've been losing sleep over this one for quite a while. We're gonna go on a test drive. I don't know if it's gonna be better or not, but even if it's not, at least I know I've got the best ride possible in this truck. And then I can just let it go. So let's see how it does. I don't know if it's in my head, but just coming off the curb felt a little better. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Right now I'm gonna say there's an improvement, but it could be in my head. The real sharp stuff is like less. Yeah, everything's kind of muted. Just a little bit. This is not a miracle product. Maybe if you're coming from like original, completely worn out body mounts to these, you're gonna notice a huge difference. This is a big bump right here.
Ooh.
See, that felt a lot better.
Yeah.
And that's just it. That is usually a pretty harsh bump, and these things sucked it up pretty good. That was an relatively expensive, long, hard project. But I feel good knowing I've got the nicest body mounts that you can buy under the truck. So for all you guys out there, we're few and we're proud that got stuck with a Canadian frame with too small holes and you can't buy body mounts for your truck. I think this might be the solution for you. Day and a half, and your problem is solved. So thanks to S&B Filters for creating this awesome product, and thank you for watching. We'll see you again soon.